right, guys, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. So excited that you're here. We get together, Wednesday nights and go over some of the skills that I believe that anyone over time can master to become what I would call a professional in this industry. And, guys, it's fun to do collaboration. So for those of you that are brand new, this is very interactive. I'll ask you to post and comment, and the more open and honest and the more that you get engaged, I believe the more that you get out of it. This isn't something that's all about me. I kind of just help facilitate, maybe give you a little bit of some of the knowledge that I've gained over the last 19 years in this industry, but I certainly don't know everything. And I love learning and growing, and I end up picking up a lot of tips from a lot of you all. So let's do this first. Last week, if you were on last week, why don't you put a 3 in the comments if you were on last week? Let's see how many were on last week. All right, so we got quite a few of you. Okay, that's good. Now, do you remember what the challenge is? And if so, did you do the challenge? So here was the challenge. Last week, you guys, we were talking about compare and contrast. And how many times, and I'll talk about me, I'll start to compare myself or my progress, whether it's financially or title-wise or physically, to other people. Has anybody ever been guilty of that? And if you compare yourself, my question is, and I guess guilty is not even the right word, because if it propels you, that's a good thing. But if it stalls you, like most of the times when I start comparing, it's an unhealthy thing. So the challenge last week was to take a little time and write down, do you compare yourself? And if so, basically, does it help you or does it hurt you? And did anybody do that exercise? Just put in there yes, or I'm hoping somebody did it. These things always work a lot better when we do it. Oh yeah, lots of you did. Betsy Waters. Betsy, would you unmute yourself a minute, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're always so full of energy, and you light up a room even if you're not in the room.
Oh, what a compliment. Thank you so much. I think actually your wife absolutely rocked Denver, the New Age in the Rockies. We had so many people compliment her and comment on just the glorious light that she brought to her presentation. So I have to reverse that compliment.
Well, good. So Betsy, if you were on last week and did you get a chance, and would you be willing to just share maybe what you wrote out, or even a little bit of what you wrote out? And again, going through that process, looking at it, because I think there's power when we write things out. Like, do I compare myself to others? First of all, thinking about that. And if so, does it help or hurt you? Would you be willing to kind of share and elaborate on that a little bit?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, I do compare myself to others, and it is never, ever beneficial, because God created me fearfully and wonderfully, and I need to focus on being the best me that I can be. And that is what is going to bring him the most glory. If I focus on, if I admire traits in others, that's a different thing. But if I'm comparing myself with someone else that I don't live up to their standards, or I'm not as excellent as they are, well, they are working on their own issues, and they are, magnifying their own qualities and giftings, where I need to be focused on me, because I'm the only one who can change me.
I would 100% agree. And thank you so much for sharing. Let's see.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely. Gloria, would you mind unmuting? And you guys, you never have to do that. I'm just asking. Gloria, if you don't want to, that's okay. But would you be willing to, I guess, to unmute?
Hi.
I hope you're not driving.
Yes, I am.
Oh, maybe I should ask somebody else. I don't want to be responsible for a wreck.
Okay, I'll be home in about 5 minutes, so you can call me back.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
okay,
be careful.
then.
Yes,
Bye.
be careful. Josh, I see that you put in there that you did the exercise. Would you mind unmute and kind of share a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, Aaron, I think it's really easy in this industry, especially with the insurgence of social media, to jump into measure and comparison. And a lot of the times we got to sit back, and I have to do this all the time to remind myself that not everything is what it appears to be on social media. Not everything appears what it be, you know, when you're walking past somebody in your building and they're jumping in some kind of a car. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're extremely successful. Doesn't mean that they're at where you're supposed to be at. I'll echo Betsy's comments and say, you know, there's a grand plan for us. Our steps are orchestrated. And as long as we're tying into those, you know, to that guidance, I don't think we'll ever be off path. But we, you know, like I said, this industry breeds that because, you know, you've got, you know, people talking about, well, you know, X amount of money and X amount of things and all these different types of things. And we just got to learn to stay in our own lane, maximize our own potential, and the rest will fall into place. But I've caught myself doing it over the last 7-8 years, countless times, whether it's people on the team, people in the company, in the industry. It's something that you've got to be disciplined to stay away from, or else you'll get caught up in it. You'll get into analysis paralysis. It'll stunt your growth, and you'll start to look at different things in the company as to why you aren't achieving what you're achieving. And all it has to do with going back and comparing to people that have nothing to do with you in your own circumstances.
I would agree 100%. I would agree. Hey, Ryan, I haven't heard from you in a little bit. Would you mind unmuting? Ryan's all the way from the Philippines.
Hi, Aaron. Yep. Hi, guys.
How you doing, my friend?
Doing great. Yeah.
Good to see
excited
you.
to be here again.
So you wrote out a little bit in, you know, what I'd really like you to focus on what went through your mind, your thought process as you went through this exercise. What stuck out, if anything, to you?
Well, as Josh said, in the age of social media, it's so easy to see so many things. In my case in particular, I'm not really that much sort of jealous of people succeeding in our industry or in our company, because all it does is just inspire, you know, it inspires me, you know, to do better, right? But what really, you know, probably creates that emotion in me is like seeing other people from, well, other like businesses that are generating results. Like, for example, in digital marketing or in other network marketing companies, where I'm looking into what I'm doing, it's so much better than what they're doing, you know, and I'm not just being biased because I know for sure that this is so much better. And they're creating results, and I have not created as much results as I want to, and which really makes me question myself, right? Am I dumb? Am I like lazy or stuff like that? So it creates this wrong impression of myself, and it gets me not really discouraged, but it more of like you know, slows me down into what I should be doing instead of creating momentum. So instead of creating momentum, I'm like hitting a brick wall every now and then. I see, oh, this guy posted this again, and this lady posted this again, and I can't post anything yet. So it sort of like creates this wrong impression of what I should be and what I am, you know, in God's eyes, and in my, you know, the people that I love in their eyes, you know. So that's essentially what goes through my mind every time this happens.
That's really good insight. And I'm going to ask everybody a question here in a minute, but so as you went through that exercise and recognizing that, knowing and even in this moment talking about it, do you feel that it makes a difference now that you're more aware of it than just kind of keeping it aside and kind of avoiding the conversation that we're having right now with ourselves?
Absolutely.
No, Ryan, Ryan is back to you.
Oh, sorry. Aaron, what was it? I'm sorry. I was like, my mind.
No, that's okay. But I mean, I was saying that I really appreciate you being real and transparent and authentic. But when you went through that exercise and you started to think about, and even in this conversation that we're having, bringing it to the forefront and awareness of your mind, do you believe that it helps you in any way, or does it hurt you knowing, instead of avoiding this conversation, having this conversation?
Well, this conversation that we're having right now, it helps absolutely, because the first step to change is always being aware of what you need to change. And if I hadn't become aware of this, probably it's still going to be lingering in me, and it's going to be killing me inside. And instead of helping me move forward, because previously I thought it was going to give me the fire that I needed in order to push forward, but instead of it doing that, it's like, as I mentioned, it's slowing me down. It's making me hit a brick wall every now and then. So absolutely, this conversation helps, because at least now I know that this is the effect. I get to understand what it's doing in me, doing to me. So next time around that it happens, I know, okay, this is not me. This is not something that I should be thinking. I should, push that away, because, I have something great, and these people, if they're succeeding in whatever they're doing, good for them. I'm so happy for them. But it doesn't mean that I can't do this exact same thing that they're achieving, right? So yeah, at the very least, it makes me aware, and that's so good.
Love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much for sharing. And Gloria, I know you made it home. So Gloria, did you get a chance to write anything out? And if so, have you caught yourself comparing yourself, and has it helped you or hurt you?
Yes. The first answer is yes. And for me, it has helped me because it made me want to do better. It made me want to know what skills I need. I even, try and listen real attentively to pick up on skills that I can use. And in a way, it drives me to act, to do what I need to do. It lets me know that I'm one link in this chain, and that, I want to do my best. So being a part of something bigger is always better, knowing that we are in it together. We're not just an island by ourselves.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing.
Okay.
So guys, really quick, if you can relate to anybody that just shared, type in the chat how you can relate. Like, just take a minute and, do you relate? How do you relate? Maybe put some kind of comment in there as it pertains to you. Does it, I guess maybe let's make it easy. Does it help having this conversation, knowing that a lot of us are going through the same things? Does that help you? Let's just start there. And just type in yes or no, or don't type anything, and it's totally up to you. This is all about you guys, right? Like this is about you, and it's about adding value to you, your lives, your businesses, your teams. So there's a lot of great comments in there, and they're flying. And Don wrote, I relate to getting stuck in my own head, but awareness and the conversation helps me to understand I'm not alone. And I actually think that sums it up for most people. And again, I can't see every comment, but I know as it speaks to me, you can ask my wife. There's many times. You guys, here's the thing: getting in our own head and getting stuck. It doesn't matter the level of income. It doesn't matter your title. It doesn't matter male or female. It doesn't matter young or old. I personally believe that everybody goes through that. But here's, again, we're talking about skills. Here's the skill that we can all learn. And I don't think you can learn a skill unless you're aware of something. And so back to Ryan's point, being aware that most everybody here that's willing to admit it is going through something very similar, maybe some a little bit more magnified, some a little less. But here's the skill: to become aware, and in some cases, even write it out, because sometimes it helps looking at it. Wow, right now I'm feeling jealous of so-and-so because such and such. And look at it. And then it kind of gets it out of your mind. And as you're looking at it, then ask and reframe, and remember, flip it and say, wait a minute, is this helping where I'm going, or is this stalling or hurting where I'm going? And having that conversation, you guys, can get you back on track quicker. And I believe that skill, as you get better and faster at it, flips things quicker and gets you back. And to me, That's the difference between somebody that's coming in here as a rookie or an amateur, and those aren't bad terms at any stretch of the imagination, or somebody that's on their way to becoming a professional. It's having that ability to flip it and move on and get out of that funk or whatever you want to call it quicker, because otherwise it can be an unbelievable distraction. Unbelievable distraction. And the faster we can get out of those distractions, the better off we are. So anyway, well, thank you for all of you for sharing. All right. So tonight I'd like to talk about tee it up. And this is another skill. This is another conversation. I'm going to ask for input and maybe how you tee up. Okay. So we're not going to be talking about golf because I am not a golfer. What I mean teeing up is when you share a video or a Zoom or something that we're going to get somebody that we've connected with to take a look at some type of presentation that's going to share the information about what we've got to offer. So whether it's about our products, whether it's about our business, whether it's about both, that conversation that tees up the presentation. That's what I'd like to talk to you about tonight, because it's come up several times today and a few times in the past few days. And I thought if it's coming up in conversations that I'm having, maybe other people are having not just issues, but struggles or success with how they're teeing it up. And so let me just kind of talk through a couple scenarios, and then I'm going to ask for some input. Whether if you've got some struggles or you've had success and you want to share some tips about what you say in results that you're getting. So I use several different videos. The two that I use the most actually are Dr. Crystal's 9-minute video. I like it. It's short, it's impactful, it's getting great results. And then the 14-minute Be Transformed video. Now, that's not to say that there's not 50 other videos out there. And here's the thing. The one thing I'll say about a video, if you use it to share products or the opportunity, is if you believe it'll work, it'll work. If you're using one right now that's working, do not stop. Like never, guys, this is about never stopping what you're doing. It's seeing if you can add to it. So never stop what you're doing, what your team's doing, what's working. But I believe that I could share almost any video and have very close to the same conversion. Because to me, it's all about converting people from an issue that they have, and that issue can be health related, financially related, or both. Showing them something that gives them a solution and having them get started, right? That's converting them from their problem to the solution. And the video in the middle is the tool that we use because it's very duplicatable instead of you and I having to learn and explain everything and becoming these master presenters, because that's not duplicatable. And so I'm a firm believer, if I'm going to use a video, so I'm going to give you a couple examples. So Dr. Crystal's video, if I'm going to use that, it's very, very strong on weight loss. But what happens if I'm talking to somebody that needs to lose no weight? How do I use that video? Well, it's how you tee it up. So I would say something like, and I see Whitney on here, and I'll just because our names are. So I'm getting a hold of Whitney. Doesn't really need to lose any weight, right? Like she's skitty. She's a cheerleader. I mean, she's amazing. And so I'm gonna say, hey, Whitney, maybe she mentioned to me that she wants to make a few extra bucks, or she whatever it is, has a health challenge, whatever that is. But she said nothing about weight loss. How am I going to use a video that's predominantly weight loss? Well, I'm going to do something like this. Hey, Whitney, and we've already connected. We've already been through that whole process. If you know that process, it's go back to MasterClass 1, 2, and 3. We walk through that. But here I'm going to say, Whitney, let me just send you a short little 9-minute video, and I'd love you to watch it. And I'm just going to tell you, Whitney, there's a lot about weight loss, but what I want you to focus on is the results, because I know that I'm certain that you know people that are looking for results, but there's so much more than what you're going to see. But this just gives you just a little peek at what you're going to have access to. And then I'll follow up with you, da-da-da-da-da. Do you see how I teed that up? Because if you and I don't tee up that video, and give them what to look for or what to expect. I'm going to say that again, because those 2 points are really, really important when you're going to share somebody a video to watch. You need to direct them what to look for. And that's going to be something that they're going to resonate with, right? Because of your connection conversation, you should know, do they want to lose weight? Do they have a health challenge? Are they more focused on money? What is it that they're looking for, right? You should have already found that out. And again, go back to class 1, 2, and 3 to figure out how to do that. We're not going to spend time there tonight, but I'm going to share with them what to look for, right? And what to look at, like, what are they going to see? What to expect? Because if I just say, hey, Whitney, yeah, here, I'm going to just send you this video. And all of a sudden it's predominantly weight loss and she's not interested in a weight loss, what's going to probably happen more times than not for her? She's going to get frustrated when she starts to see that first few minutes of weight loss and say, oh, this isn't for me. Does she watch the whole thing or does she shut it off and then tell you it's not for her? Right? I'm seeing John, they're done. And you know what? Here's what's fun with the new app, you guys, you'll be able to see when people are shutting it off. And this skill, that's why I wanted to talk about it tonight. This skill is going to help them watch more or all of the video. Does that make sense? So point to what they look for. All right, I'm going to give you another couple scenarios, and then I'm going to ask some of you if you've got some success. I know John and Antoinette are absolutely crushing it. I mean, every time I turn around, oh, got a new ultimate pack, got a new elite pack, got a new teammate, got this. So John, just know I'm gonna call on you here in a minute. But guys, here's another scenario. In fact, this one I just talked to somebody today, and they were more athletic. And so what I did is I said, hey, listen, I'm gonna send you. I said I could send you a 9-minute video, but I'd like to send you this one that's 14 minutes. And you're going to see a lot of stuff about weight loss, but I want you to pay special attention to the middle because there's a couple personal trainers that I know you'll resonate with. But also I want you to see some of the other results that we're getting with so many people. Do you see how now I've got them thinking about the middle of the video, but also I'm letting them know that the rest of the video is valuable because they're going to be thinking of people that can relate to those people. Does that make sense? I promise you, if you develop this skill of telling them what to expect, right, and what to look for, you're going to have a better success rate. You're going to have a lot more view through. I'm learning these terms, right? That view through is important. Getting a view isn't that important. Having somebody view the whole thing is what you and I want, because how many times then do we get somebody on for a third party call and the person turns out didn't really want, well, yeah, I'm just not really into weight loss, or that's not for me. But see, it wasn't teed up well enough. So anyway, John, would you mind unmuting yourself, sir?
Sure.
So John, I know you guys, you've got a lot of people coming on your team. You guys are personally sponsoring a lot of people. Would you mind sharing some of the ways that you tee up, whether it's, and again, John, it can be a video, it can be a Zoom, and there's Antoinette there too. And this could be for either one of you. I know she's the beauty and the brains, but you are great support, John. You're a great support.
No, he's the driver. He's the brains.
What I do. No, go ahead, Aaron. I didn't mean.
No, I would. I'd love to hear some of what you guys are doing, and I know everybody else would too.
Really comes down to passion. It comes down to enthusiasm. It comes down to being super excited and expecting them to be excited, because that's what they buy. They buy my enthusiasm. They buy my energy. But then, like what you said, is when I send a video to somebody, I will always say there's a couple of spots here you want to pay particular attention to, and it really would be worth your time to go watch all the way to the end, because there's some stuff at the end of this video that if you miss it, you're not going to get the whole picture. And so I let them know about spots in the video, and then I always say it's important that you watch it all the way through the end, because there's stuff at the end that you don't want to miss. but I really put it out there with that enthusiasm,
belief,
the expectation. I fully expect them to say yes. When they say no, I'm like, really? Wow. Okay. It's totally, it's really based on belief and expectation. And when you send that out, because I'm convinced that when we talk to people, we're sending one of two vibrations, either certainty or uncertainty.
Mm-hmm. And as far as videos go, what's been working for us, I know it's longer, but the product overview, we get a lot of people saying,
oh yeah,
I want to hear about your products. Well, we've been using the product overview from Dr. Ginger, and we have people call back.
At least one or two this week.
Yeah. And people, we get them on the phone, and I ask them what piqued their interest the most about what they heard. And they'll share that with me, and they'll say, I want to get XYZ, and they give me a couple of things, and then I'll say, great. And then they start sharing their health challenges, and they ask, is there anything else? And there was a lady the other day, she got on after watching it. I always set the follow-up call, and we talk to them right after they're done. And she listed 2 things, but by the time we were off the call, she bought 6 items.
Right.
And so
that was a customer. Yeah.
That was a customer. So it's really all about having a conversation with people. Don't overthink it. Don't make it more than what you think it has to be, and just have a normal conversation with people.
And I love how you turn this, teeing it up, because when I talk with people, I'm asking them questions. I don't just tell, because I think telling is what stops most people. I say, so, well, tell me a little bit more about that. So exactly what is it that you're having a challenge with? And then what I'll do, like what I did with this lady she's talking about, I'll say, well, let me ask you this. If and I learned this from someone, if I say, if I would send you this video today, could you watch it today? If they tell me, no, they can't watch it today, then I'll say, oh, okay, well, when can you watch it? And I don't send it right away, because what I used to do is I'd send it to people and I'd be chasing them. And I'd be go, did you get a chance to watch it yet? Oh, no, I haven't watched it yet. But what I do now is I'll say, so this video is about 15 minutes, whatever the amount is really super important that you watch it today. Is that something you can do? That's an expectation. And 9 out of 10 of them are saying, yeah, I can watch it today. Then I go, okay, great. As soon as you're done watching it, call me back, because I know you're going to have questions and I want to answer them for you. So that's another part, is that I just shoot that energy out there with the expectation they're going to want to do this.
And set the follow-up calls.
You guys, that right there is gold. Is there anything else that you guys want to say on that kind of that subject? Or, I mean,
I could go on a long time, but it's just, it really, I come down to, again, it's all about enthusiasm and passion. And when they believe, because I'm a believer, and I think you said this either last week or a previous week, ultimately they're buying you, because, unless you got somebody that is somebody that's really like up on all this stuff, they're going, is this something I really want to do? Or is this product I really want to buy this product? But when you're like, oh my gosh, you've got to try this product, and then you give them ideas of what it's done for you, that always is better. That's why, you got to be a product of the product, of course. But, when we're talking to people, we've had people literally go, like a young lady, I don't know, she might even be on here. Was it yesterday?
I don't know
the young lady from New Jersey. Yeah. Okay. She was like, I'm not even sure everything yet, but I like what I'm hearing and I love your enthusiasm, so I want to sign up. And literally, that's what it was.
It's all about asking for the sale too.
Yeah, you got to ask for the order.
When you're sending things out there, whether it's in regards to the products or the business, it's about asking for the sale, and not and being the one asking the questions, so that you know where they're coming from.
The person asking the question controls the conversation.
And when you ask questions, or like the lady, everybody that has purchased items, they want like everything. Some people purchase it all. Some people purchase a handful of things, but never put a limit on what your customer is going to purchase based on what you think they can afford.
Right. Never.
You put out everything out there that they're talking about, and you let them decide. They're going to know how much they can spend.
And using power words like absolutely. Like I tell people all the time, I'm absolutely confident you're going to love what you're going to see. And it's not like, well, you might want to check this out. It's done really well for some people. No, it's all positive. It's all energy. It's all, oh my gosh, the FOMO, FOMO, fear of missing out. you know, I've been basically saying, man, you don't want to miss this because this may never come around again. And people are like, oh, really? Okay, well, yeah, I don't want to miss it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, guys, I agree with everything that you just said. And you guys, I hope you're taking notes. I know this is recorded, which is nice. So you can go back and listen to some of that stuff. But guys, that was gold. I mean, what you just heard is absolutely gold. So anybody else that's had some success with teeing up people either getting on a Zoom or watching a video, and if a few of you can, if you have, just maybe putting it in the comments so I can look. And while you're putting in the comments, if you had success, I want to go back to one thing that they said. So, and I don't know why there's a thing in the middle of my screen, but whatever. Here's what's interesting. They're having success with a 45-minute video. Why? Because they tee it up correctly, right? They create one. Did you hear it? They have certainty themselves. Number one, they believe in the products. They believe in the process. They believe in the program. Number two, they create an expectation that that person will as well. Number three, they set the expectation and allow the person to know this is going to be 45 minutes, but there's a lot of information in there that you're really going to resonate with. Now, I'm putting that in my terms. They have a little bit different terms and verbiage. But do you see how they've teed that up so well, that person, and then they don't just send it, they schedule a time to send it and a time to follow up. Do you realize there's, I don't know, 80 some people on here. Do you realize if everybody sent 5 videos with that kind of formula right now, we would have to expand the room next week? And you say, but how are John and Antoinette? I mean, they're skyrocketing the power rankings, and they're senior officers, and I mean, they're exploding here, they're exploding there. How are they doing that? They just told you. The difference is they didn't just do it one time. They do it over and over and over and over. Yeah, go ahead, John.
You just said something that I used to mess this up all the time. And finally I got past it. I used to complicate things by overthinking. Well, what if this happens? And what if that happens? Man, I just let it rip. I literally just let it rip. I mean, some people are like, I can't believe you said that, but I'm so enthusiastic about it. And when people say, well, what do you say when they ask you this question? Because I know very little about the comp plan. And my answer is, you know what? That's a great question. I don't know. All I know is they pay me, and if I don't know something about the product, I'll just say, wow, that is an awesome question. I don't know, but I do know somebody that does know. And here's what I do know, though. And I always, because to me, the answer to a question is a question, and you don't want that dead air. You don't want the dead air, because a lot of times people will say, so how would you handle this? Or what about this, John? And I'll say, you know what, that's a great question. And then I'll answer it. And then I'll come back with the question, because that's how you keep the conversation going. And that's what we've done with many people. Antoinette's really good at it, especially with the products. But don't overthink it, because I think that's what most people doing is they're overthinking. They're trying to figure out, well, what do I say if they say this? Just be the real you. You said that last week, I think. Just be you.
Yeah, the best version of you will always be the best, right? Like never try to be somebody else. I don't like the word try anyway, but the worst thing you and I can try to do is try to be somebody else, because it never works out good. God created you to be you, be the best you can be. And that's what we need to do, right? That's what we need to do. Verna, can you unmute yourself?
Okay. Hi.
There you are. I don't see you, but I can hear you.
I'm coming. Here I am. I'm in my
There
vehicle.
you are. Uh-oh. I hope you're not driving.
I am not driving. My washer broke, so I'm washing clothes. I'm sitting out in front of the washateria.
Okay.
Yep.
Boy, I got all fuzzy, but that's okay. Verna, talk about what you do with the ATM and how you tee up that. I'd love, and for those of you that don't know what ATM is, add, tag, and message using Facebook groups is a fantastic way to build. It's another great way that works, but it also takes some teeing up. So can you kind of explain what you do and how you go through that?
Sure. So basically, if I've made a post or if I'm communicating with someone, I will talk with them. I will tell them about our group, our Transformer group that is private. And I'll just say, you know, there's a lot of testimonies in there. There's a lot of like-minded persons that are interested in, you know, improving their health and their wealth. And so then I certainly ask their permission. I make sure that they understand that they have to actually accept that notification and click on it. And I always just tell them, I do have a conversation with them before I add them into Transformers so that I have a general idea of what it is that they're trying to accomplish, or what their needs or their wants might be. So I have a general idea. And so once they...
Oh, we lost you.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So I'm not sure where I lost you, but so after I've talked with them and I know kind of what their needs or their wants are, then after they accept it, I go in and I will tag them in certain videos. I agree with the Ramseys, and I always learn so much from them and everyone that's on here. It's great training. I just crave learning how everybody handles things, but I do agree that the product overview by Dr. Ginger is a great one, especially if someone is product driven or they have health issues. That's a great one. And then they'll, you know, you can check back with them. From my marketing days, I usually, what I'll do is I'll find out when is a good time for them. If it's a lot of little things, I'll say, just watch it at your convenience, but I'll focus in on one particular video. And then I'll say, you know what? Are you able to watch that tonight? And if they say yes, or if they say tomorrow it's going to be at lunch, then I'll say, okay, well, I can call you at 5 tomorrow. Or I can call you at 7. What works best for you? I always just offer 2 time slots that I'm going to get back with them, just because if you just leave it open-ended, it just isn't as easy to reach them again, or it kind of commits them. And I found out a long time ago, without commitment, you don't succeed as easily, just because I learned when I offered free programs with my healthcare marketing that I did, I would have a lot less people attend than if I just charged $10. Because if they're going to spend their $10, they're committed to you. So if they've committed that they're going to watch it at a certain time, then more likely than not, you're going to be able to get back with them and have that conversation to see what their needs are. So it works for me, but I like to hear what everyone else is doing as well.
No, that's fantastic. Thank you so much, so much for sharing. Hey, Ashley Hilton, would you mind? I mean, new vice president, you're doing something right.
Hey.
So, Ashley, what do you do? How do you tee up people once you've got them, you've connected with them, and you're going to tee them up to either? Where'd you go? Are you here?
I'm here.
Okay. Either jump in a group, watch a video. You know, can you kind of walk us through your process?
Mine is very social media driven. And so I do very specifically have a process. So I will make some type of a post very specifically with an end result in mind for what I want. Do I want them to ask for more information? Do I want them to ask to join the challenge? Do I want them to ask what Skinny Drops is? There is an intention in mind with the post, right? And then especially when I start something new. So if you're not someone who's really experienced with social media, or you don't have a great following yet, what I did to build mine is when I would make the post, I have aunts, cousins, sisters, mom. I would send a group text message out and said, hey, just made this post. Need you to go comment more info or add me or drop an emoji. I would tell them what to do. I don't think they even read the post, but people are pack animals. So if you can get 2 or 3 to do it, what is everybody else going to do? What they see everybody else doing. And so I may only get 1 at first. Now I can make a post and get 15 off of it. So I encourage you, get your friends on there or use the messenger group. So that's how I generate leads. Then I take the lead and I respond to them. I'm going to send you a direct message. So when I send that message, I used to screw this up so bad. And it's so funny how I had the light bulb moment. So it's locking them down to get them to do something that was my problem, right? And so what I do now, it is literally my team members. I send them the exact text I use. It's a script. So in Instant Messenger, it's, hey girl, saw you wanted more info on the Skinny Drops post. It may or may not be for you, but I'm more than happy to take the time to show you how it works. I'm going to send you an invite to join our Skinny Drops group, Transformers. Are mornings or afternoons better for you? That mornings or afternoons better for you, game changer. Because what are women used to doing? Booking nail appointments, hair appointments, doctor's appointments, appointments for their kids. They tell me their whole day schedule for the rest of the year. So then once I have that, I look at my schedule, I give them 2 options, just like Verna, and then I book them. Then I add them to the Transformers group. I tag them in the Skinny Drops post. I tag them in Ginger's Transform X video. And then I have personally posted my own testimony because I'm on social media so much. They want that connection. I tag them in that one and tell them, hey, this is my personal experience and the experience of the girls in the group. It's social proof. Tag them in those. And then I book the appointment. Then at the time of the appointment, I know a lot of the things I study say to text them 15 minutes before. That does not work for me. And I don't know why. Texting them at the exact time of the appointment works for me.
Oh, we lost you. Please come back because that's so good.
Am I here?
There you are. Yep.
Okay. So I text them at the exact time of the appointment because I'm telling you right now, they did not write it down. They've got their kids running around all over town, driving them crazy. They're not going to remember. So when I text it to them, they're either going to say, oh, girl, I forgot. Give me 5 minutes. Or, oh, crap, I'm in the ER. I mean, I know who's got gout in their big toe. I mean, I know everything. And so at that point, if they've forgotten and they can't do the call, what will they do? They feel bad. They feel bad. They're going to reschedule and they're not going to miss that next one because they feel like an idiot and they feel guilty. And so then when I get them on the phone, first thing it is, I mean, literally, I have a 19-year-old assistant that does this with me. We get them on the, I take the calls. She'll do the booking and the ad tag message and all that. I get on the call. First thing I do is, hey girl, how are you? Let them chit chat for a moment. I tell them a little something funny, nothing about business. And I take notes because some of these people, I don't know them from Adam, but they think they're my best friend. I'm taking notes on their husband. I'm taking notes on anything significant they say. If their kid plays football, whatever it is, I keep a notebook too. Looking at the Skinny Drops or what you got going on, sis. Then just shut up and let them talk. And then once they start talking, they will tell me what I need to know. And I keep in my notes the videos, product overview. I keep Whitney's video. I like Whitney's because I can get customers very easily, but I struggle with business builders. And that's where my focus is right now. So I will, if it works for their situation, I like to send Whitney's video because Whitney, the first half of it is business. And the second half of it is about the products and the detox. And so I do tee it up because they're interested in the Skinny Drops and they're not going to want to sit through a 12-minute video. So I tell them, listen, I test everything before I put it in my boutique, before I'll refer it to you. First part of this video is about the company. I want you to know who they are, how much integrity they have, and who you're getting in bed with. And then the second part of it is about the Skinny Drops and the detox program. I'm going to put you on mute. I'm texting the video over right now. I do not get off the phone. And they're like, well, aren't you busy? And I'm like, no, girl, I've got you scheduled for this time. I'm working. I'm going to put you on mute. You just tell me when you're done. Send them the video, stay on the phone with them when they get off. When I was first learning and didn't know how to do it, I would just tell them I'm new and I don't want to disrespect your time. Do you mind if I bring my business partner, Whitney, on? She's the girl you just saw in the video. I three-way Whitney in, I shut my mouth. I listened to Whitney. That's how I learned. Now I can do it myself. And I just ask them, what questions do you have for me? And then we just go from there. Now, let's say I don't close them. Well, I had one lady tell me, I've got a wedding and I just don't want to fool with it right now. Oh, when's the wedding? Wrote that wedding down. And I texted her the week after that wedding. I said, sis, how was that wedding? She ended up buying Skinny Drops after that. I didn't even ask her to buy Skinny Drops. I just asked her how the wedding was. So it's just about continuing a conversation and developing a relationship, because I've always believed if you can make people comfortable and not classify you as a salesperson, they'll tell you what they need.
Well, guys, that was a whole training in a training. All you got to do is go back and listen to the Ramseys and listen to the other, to Verna, and listen to Ashley. I'm just telling you, this is one to go back and take some notes, right? If you're not taking notes, this is one to go back and take notes, because they just gave you the play. They just gave you their play. So let me see here. Stella, are you on still? If you are, can you unmute yourself? Nope. Can you hear me? I thought you were there for a second.
She needs to unmute.
Yes, I did.
Oh, Stella, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
So you said this is your first time being on the masterclass, right?
Yes, and I'm loving it so far. So many golden nuggets.
That's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask, so far, is it valuable for you? Because I
Oh
know
my gosh.
you've got 3 kids and you're busy, but so far, what is the thing that stood out the most? And I've never done this, but I love the fact when somebody new comes on and is spending an hour to learn and grow. What so far, just one thing, if you had to pick one thing, what's the one nugget that you took away so far?
Oh, there was so many, but the common thing was everybody is taking action in their different way, their own way. It doesn't matter how, but it's most important that you have to take action. And I have the blessing to be a part of Mr. and Mrs. Jones team. So it's just a blessing to be here. But yeah, my takeaway from tonight, there's so many takeaways. So probably the best is that now I have the algorithm, how to act. Like I realized and I learned what to do with customers and business partners. So I have like a list. I made so many notes. So I know tomorrow morning when I wake up what to do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Really appreciate you. Hey guys, why don't you do this? Take a moment in the chat and type in what's just at least one takeaway. Just one. I know there's many, but start typing in what's your takeaway from tonight. Right? Remember, you guys, action breeds action. So you can choose to sit on the sidelines and say, well, I'm not going to type anything in there. Or you can say, you know what? Hey, I'm going to at least put something in there. I'm going to put one thing in there that resonated with me, because you guys, just that little bit actually starts to create momentum in your personal life. I promise you. Keep them on the phone during the video. Yep, I love that one too. That was a good one. Taking action, value and posture and belief. Absolutely. Tee up a video. Yep. Passion, great training, belief. What did you take away so far? Call, ask questions, strong follow-up, setting up specific time and texting them at that time. Master the mundane. I like that one. Good job on that. I mean, I like them all. There's no wrong thing, right? This is what you took out of this. It's what you're taking from this. By the way, Scott Brott, well, congratulations. You and Donna, a new ultimate teammate this week. That's kind of cool. Got to like that. Okay, guys, so we're getting here towards the end, and, we titled this Teeing It Up, and I will tell you what, I could have never dreamed or taught you anything even close to as good as our guests tonight. And that's, to me, the magic of having a class and having things interactive. And my prayer for all of you is that you too picked something up, or multiple things. But the neat thing is you get to go back and you can watch this. My wife is gracious enough to create a YouTube channel. It's MasterClass with Aaron Decker. And guys, all these little episodes are on there. And, you can just pull one out when you need to have a refresher course. And, I even kept myself doing it because there's just so much value in sharing things that are working. But also, I believe there's just as much value in sharing and all of us seeing that we're all the same. We all have struggles, right? There is no perfect. Not everybody has the best day, right? And sometimes we allow comparing ourselves or many other things to slow us down, but now we're just bringing it to the forefront, and we're helping you create the skill to stop it before it starts to fester and move on and get back to those things that we know we should be doing, which is connecting with people, being intentional about asking them questions and finding out their needs, and then teeing it up so we can share with them something that they need to see. And then we'll talk maybe about the follow through. And I know John and Antoinette hit on that, but guys, if there's one massive important piece to the equation, it's that. So here we go. Challenge for next week. And I hope you do it. Guys, the more that you do this, guess what? The better results, right? There's nothing magic. It's just doing something. When you went to school, those that did their homework seemed to do a little bit easier on the next test, right? So the test really is only, how bad do you want this? What are you willing to do? Are you willing to challenge yourself to do just a little challenge? Here's the challenge. Practice the process of teeing it up. How are you going to tee up? So you're going to have to find somebody to connect with, and then really master or start to master teeing that video, that Zoom, that Facebook group, and maybe go back through here and pick a style that you want to test. That would be a fun one, right? Pick a style. You heard 3 or 4 different styles. Pick a style. Do you want to try a John and Antoinette style? Do you want to try an Ashley style? Do you want to try a Verna style? Pick a style and then test that process and write out your results and then share it with us next week. Guys, we love you. We appreciate you. Have a great rest of your evening and rest of your week. God bless.